I want to say Barak Hawa, Barak Shah, Barak Hawa, Barak Shah, Bahashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Citation to you brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. I like to say Mawatha Babel, which is death to Babylon. And Lord willing, this is edifying to you brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. The topic on this is going to be understanding your spiritual family, right? So understanding your spiritual family being those that teach the same thing through the spirit that you have learned from your spiritual fathers, or in other words, your spiritual parents, you know, mainly brothers that's in the GMS camp, have been taught and learned from the apostles on down. So your works that you do is for the works to get salvation. So and understand to understand what you're doing, you have to continuously study. So you have to study through who? Your spiritual parents. You know what I'm saying? Your spiritual brothers, Real quick, I wanted to grab this. This is Matthew 12 and 47. It says, Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples, and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. And so you have to understand, man, is that those that are your spiritual family, your true family, may I say, are those who's doing this work in truth and sincerity. So, going back into the apostles through the spirit are teaching that the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. You have learned that from your spiritual parents. All those who reject that are not family, are not your family, so to speak. They are against the truth. They're against the workings of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And mainly those that be against the Lord are those that be of the circumcision. 2/3 of them, that disagree with what the Spirit have allowed the apostles to bring up. The RFID chip, martial law, the so-called white man being Edom, Cornelius being an Israelite, and the 12 tribes that's of the charts. That's what the Spirit have put upon our spiritual parents, and that's what we have to teach. And those who disregard that teaching, you're not of the Spirit. You're not of truth. For an example, you had Nate, IUIC. He didn't believe that Cornelius was an Israelite. And then now you got this demon teaching that Cornelius is an Israelite. So it goes to show you those that the Spirit is dealing with and those that the Spirit ain't dealing with, man. You got dudes that's too goddamn proud to see who their spiritual parents are, So I wanted to grab this real quick. This is because your family that's in the world, if they're not walking the path of this truth that's being taught, then there are your enemies. And the Lord have done that. The Lord said, For I have sent you variants. Well, let me get it, because that's what I'm about to get anyway. This is Matthew 10 and 34. I'm going to start at 34. It says, Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So the Lord is going to bring a lot of death and destruction in America, man. So it ain't time to be trying to make peace with your family if you in this truth and they're not. The Lord chose you for this work. He didn't choose them. It says, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father. So let's look up this word variance.
Strong's G 1369. Dechadzo. Dechadzo.
So variance is to cut into two parts, cleave asunder, and sever. So you gotta sever. That's beauty. You gotta sever your bonds with your family that's in the world if they're not following after this truth. You gotta sever those bonds, man. Because now it's not about you and them. It's about you and this truth. It's about you and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You gotta cut that shit. You gotta cut that shit in half. You gotta cut that shit asunder. You know? This is of the scriptures. This is of the understanding. All right, let's go back to this. It says, for I have come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foe shall be they of his own household. Hey, that's in the scriptures, man. Those that's of your own household will be your enemies. Now, you have brothers that's going to have women, get saved out of this this hell that's coming. You have that's going to happen. But ultimately, your main focus should be this truth. Your main focus shall know that the brotherhood is more important. Doing this work is more important. Going out to the highways and byways is more important. This is the work that the Lord have set us up to do. It says, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. He that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. Catching your own hell, enduring it, and things like that. But I don't want to get off topic. So let me grab this real quick, and then we can end it from there. This is Matthews 19:29. It says, and everyone that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or fathers, or mothers, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. So that's what you have to understand. You have to sacrifice those earthly or fleshly or worldly things for that which is spiritual. That which is of the spirit and spiritual. And the spirit just had me make this video real quick, because you have to understand your spiritual family. 2/3 of our people don't understand that, man. They don't understand what the spirit is. They don't understand what is spiritual. 2/3 of our people look at everything carnally. The Lord have set them up and programmed them to be that way until their destruction. So I just want to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushua, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Salutation to you brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this was edifying to you brothers that's out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I like to say shalom.